Hey guys, it's Amy at Zoe Beck, and I'm going to do my reading stats for May 2021. So again, this is later than I wanted it to be. It's just been a weird month so far for work. So I've been really just behind on things. So I'm going to go through my trusty little list and talk about my stats, or the reading stats that I have that I track every month. So May was a fairly good reading month. I read 12 books. 9 of them were physical, 1 was an ebook, 1 was an audiobook, and 1 was a reread. So that equals my 12. So not all my rereads count as in all my stats, just as an FYI. A lot of times if it's one I haven't read in a really long time, if I haven't read it in a really long time, I add it, but most of the time I keep them separate. So anyway, it's just my thing. I did read 1 graphic novel or manga. I think I read a manga. I didn't have any official DNFs, but I will talk about one in a second. Oh, okay, so how many were on my TBR for the month? So I put 3 books that were for sure on my TBR, and I've been tracking this for the last 2 years, and I am really horrible at TBRs. I love making lists. So, but I put 3 books on my TBR that were like solid, and I didn't finish any of them. I started one, but I didn't. I should have put 1 book on there that I did actually read that I knew I was going to read. I don't know why I didn't, but anyway. But of the 3 that I said were for sure, yeah, I didn't read them or didn't finish them. How many were from my shelves? So 9 books that I read were from my shelves. So all the physical books that I read in May were from my shelf. So that is really a good number for me. Normally I get a lot from the library as well. I didn't read any of my library books except for I believe the manga that I read. So overall that was pretty good. Manga or graphic novel. I can't remember which one it was. Anyway, so that was pretty good for me to read 9 books off my shelf in a month, since I bring in so many, which I'll get to in a second. But how many books was I still reading as I carried over into the next month? And this number is one of my highest. I was reading 6 books, or 6 books were currently still books that I was actively thinking I was going to read as we crossed over from May to June. So I normally do not have that many books I've started and not finished by the end of the month. But it's, as I said, it's been a really weird reading year for me so far. But next question, how many books did I buy in May? So again, May was my birthday month, so I purchased 35 books. So some of that was from gift cards or money that I got from family. I finally got to spend some of my Christmas money to go to Pals with my dad. We did that in May for my birthday, but most of the money I used was stuff I still had from Christmas that I hadn't used. So really, my birthday money is still being used now. But anyway, so more books are coming. But 35 is a pretty high number. It wasn't the highest so far this year, which is bad. But let's remember that I only read 9 physical books from my TBR. I'm not doing good. So of those 35, let's see. Oh wait, how many? So 3 of them I'd read during the month. So 32 went onto my TBR. The cost per book was about $5.50, because again I had gift cards, and that kind of helped offset some of the more expensive books that I bought. So yeah, not the greatest. Anyway, number of pages read is 3,545 pages. So that comes to an average of 114.4 pages a day, which is a good number for me. I, again, shoot for at least 50 pages a day on average for the month. That's been a goal of mine for many, many years. That's just to get myself to read, which before was when I was writing a lot, so I needed that push to make sure I read. So anyway, I definitely made that by getting 114 pages per day, which is really good. Anytime I'm over 100, I'm happy. I know there are people who read a lot more than me or a lot less than me, but this is my goals of, as I said, 50 is my low. I don't like to be below 50 pages per day on average, but to be over 100 is always a good thing. So that was a good month. For the 12 books that I read, the average page count was 308.7. So to this is good. I like it when it's over 300 pages. That's, I think, typical. I read a lot of pages between 300 and 400 pages. So I like it when my average is above 300. So I do read some short books, but I like the number to be over 300 if I can. I read 4 male authors and 8 female authors. I read 1 translated work, which isn't that good for me. I usually like to do more than that. I read 2 BIPOC authors. I read, so then my star ratings, this is like one of the best star months I had 4 5 stars. Oh, my numbers are off here. How did I do that? I had 4, yeah, so I had 4, yeah, okay. Sorry, my numbers are off for a little bit here, but it's supposed to be 4 5 stars, 4 4 stars, and 4 3 stars, or 3 3 stars, because one of them was a reread, so I didn't count that one. So, that was the most 5 stars I had in a month all year so far. It was kind of surprising, because this year I've been a lot more critical on my 5 stars of making sure that they are real 5 stars to me. And again, a 5 star is a book that I definitely want to keep, or I think I'll read again or enjoy again, or it really emotionally affected me, or I learned something very important from it. And again, a 4 star is mostly books that are like were fun and are ones that I still really enjoy, and I still might really reread. I have plans. I probably will reread them, or they're in a series I really enjoy, so they'll probably be reread. And then again, that's kind of, so 4s are my normal. Are my average. I don't know what the average is between those. I forgot to take, but it must have been like my highest average between them. I should have done that one. Sorry, missed that stat. My genres that I read 2 memoirs, 3 modern classics, 1 biography, 1 urban fantasy, 1 paranormal romance, 1 nature nonfiction, 1 historical romance, and 1 horror. So I had quite a few different genres. I did participate in like 2 or 3 different read-alongs or readathons that were in the month of May, so that kind of is why they're kind of all over the place, which is good. That's how I normally read. I like to read all over the place. So my favorite book of the month, I have 2 that I want to talk about, only because these are, I would say, the ones that really stood out to me. The first one was Miss Pettigrew Lives for a Day by Winifred Watson. This was just pure joy. I had so much fun reading this. I read it really fast, and we just follow a governess, or an out-of-work governess, who is trying to find a job, and her agency sends her to this young woman, LaFlosse, and it kind of gets involved with her and her friends and her life, and it's just an eye-opening day for Miss Pettigrew, and I just love this book. It was just so much fun. So this, for pure joy, was my favorite book of the month. But the book that kind of sent me down like rabbit holes that I didn't expect, so I do want to mention this as a favorite book of the month, was All Passion Spent by Vita Sackville-West. And I read this and didn't know a whole lot about it, except that she was a contemporary and a friend of Virginia Woolf. I didn't know really any more than that, really. And this was such a good book about a woman who, after her husband dies and she's in her 80s, and her family thinks she should do what that they want her to, kind of be shuffled back and forth between all her kids, and she's like, no, I'm doing it my way. And it was really, and it's a look back at how she got, her early life and her marriage and things about that were not perfect. And I like the way this went. I just love this book. Anyway, so this is, again, another favorite, but this took me into reading books on Vita Sackville-West, letters between her and Virginia Woolf, and also reading Virginia Woolf. More by Virginia Woolf. Anyway, so I did buy a lot of books of hers as well this month, so I need to read more of her fiction. This was just fantastic to me. I really enjoyed the story of this older protagonist and talking about her life. It was so good. I just really liked it. So both of those were favorites. And then, just to kind of like disappointment of a book I finished was Orlando by Virginia Woolf. It is not my favorite Virginia Woolf. I've read several others. I still have a couple more to read. I've read like Miss Dalloway and To the Lighthouse. and then her essays on the Rumowen Zone and stuff like that. But I'd never read Orlando, so because Vita Sackville West is like the person, that person herself is the was Virginia Woolf's inspiration for Orlando, I had to read this during my month of reading all things Vita Sackville West. And so, but I liked it, but I didn't love it. And I don't think it's as important to, at least not to me, as To the Lighthouse or Miss Dalloway. Anyway, so, but I still read this. So again, this is like historical fiction about Orlando, who kind of evolves through a couple hundred years of history, and you kind of see the changes, and it was just really weird. And again, I had timeline issues with this one, but that's just me. Anyway, I'm glad I read it, but it's still like one of those ones I'm like, I didn't get that. And then my other, I just want to put this as a disappointment because I still don't know what I'm going to do about this. And this is The First Sister by Lyndon A. Lewis. So I have not officially DNF'd this. I still have it on my currently reading list. I keep looking at it going, I really should give it more of a shot. It's a science fiction about a world, like a futuristic our solar system where Earth is pretty much kind of out of commission and everybody's moved to Mars, or which is the Geans, and then there's also the other group, the Icarus or the Icari, from who moved to Mars Mercury and Venus. And we follow characters, one on a spaceship, who is the first sister, and their kind of weird, complex religion that's with the military, and I just don't really like their religion, and has to do with the new captain that comes on board, and the first sister trying to regain her position. And then the other one is an operative from Venus, and he is sent to find his old partner who has turned traitor. And there's a lot of good things in here. I mean, world building's good. I like the backstories of some of the characters, but I have a lot of trouble with this. And so, I'm not trying to review this right now, but I'm saying this is not a DNF yet because I keep looking at it going, I really want to get into this and I really want to get past where I'm at, but I keep doing that. I'm looking at it and not doing it. So it's a disappointment because I didn't finish it and I didn't dive into it and love it. But it's still a book it's not officially DNF'd. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this one. So, but I did want to mention that because that's kind of different. I don't usually I DNF things pretty easily, and I'm just having trouble actually doing that one. I don't know why. So let's just do my journal real quick. So you can see my book buying was out of control again. March was bad, just because March it was a month. And then, as I said, May is just as bad. So I need to get back down to, down in here. Not doing all that good this month either, but we'll see. My pixels, you can see, this month, my mid-range again is the green and the kind of the pinkish and the lighter, the lavender kind of ish. So if we're in those are my normal. This is kind of below average what I want, but as long as I got greens and blues and stuff in the pinks, I'm where I want to be reading. So I was a fairly good reading month overall. I only had one really high day, which was Memorial Day, because I read a lot on that day. So just really quick, on my Goodreads, I'd passed 55 books on my Goodreads. I'm beyond there now, but I meant at the time. And then this is just to show, I'm trying to show myself how many books are coming from what I have physically, and ebooks and audiobooks that I own, and then compared to what I'm getting from the library. And I don't feel like I'm getting a lot from the library, or I'm not reading a lot from it, but still, if you look at how many I've read from my shelves, let alone from the library, I get a lot from the library. But again, it's just to kind of show the greens are kind of physical, the reds are ebook, and the blues are audios. So I don't know. It's just I'm just trying to show it mental that I love my library, but I use it maybe too much. And then my series, I'm just keeping track of ones I started the Pride series at the end of the month, and I did one more in the Kate Daniels series, and I did one in the Bridgerton, I think. think that was it for this month. And that's it. So anyway, those are all my stats. How was your guys' reading in May? Again, mine was good, but again, I went down some rabbit holes, which was fun, but I also bought too many books. Anyway, well, we'll see what happens. This is next month. So anyway, do you guys keep stats? Do you like these kind of videos? Let me know, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.